Top morning, ladies. My name is Chaz, and welcome to the custom card review. So let's begin without any further intros. And yes, I love bringing this custom cards back because it's fun for me to review all the custom cards and give my opinions on them. And most of them are anime cards, except for the extra two. So let's begin with a monster that is best for this archetype. So, Magic and Muscles Marshally, the Muscle Man. He's an Earth level 4 warrior effect monster. Reason why I made him an effect monster in the first place instead of just leaving him with a normal monster is because he's always has some cool tricks up his sleeves. So if this card is normal summoned, you can pay 1,000 life points. But before I tell you what its cost for, it only needs to be normal summoned, not special summoned. So that if it waters it down. So you can pay 100 life points actually. Destroy all cards on your opponent's field. So basically, if it's summoned, it basically punishes your opponent. Monsters, destroys everything. Like how he does in the anime, where he basically destroys a person. Yeah. And now, moving on, this card's effects cannot be negated by card effects. This card is unaffected by card effects and can't be destroyed by battle or by card effects. Once per turn, during either player's turn, either player must pay 1,000 life points. This card gains 1,000 attack and defense. This card, if you lose life points and your opponent, so that gives you, So this card can attack your opponent's life points directly, but the damage is doubled. So, basically, in the anime where he can hold back, so when he charges himself up. So, and when he lets go, when he punches the person, he sometimes thought that he needs to be more weaker and down. So, sorry. So now we got I'll just say, because some of these cards have his thing. So he has his training. If you have him on a field, basically you can activate this card from your hand or deck once per turn. During either player's turns, Magic and Muscles, the muscle guy, I'll just say then, monster, gains 2,000 attack and defense. If this card is sent to the grave, you can shuffle this card into the deck. You can add one cream puff. So, yeah. Spell card from anywhere to your hand. So, basically, the cream puff that this card searches out can basically equip to him. I know that because it should have said by your opponent. So basically, yeah. So, I know. But I did change it after. I'll probably change it. So, yeah. So, if this card is equipped to that monster on the field, it gains 1,000 defense and yeah. And this card has the graveyard effect of you can send one plant type monster from anywhere to your graveyard. Add this card to your hand. If you do, special summon one of the lake. Yeah. So, most of these cards, but it cannot attack until the end phase of your next turn. So, yeah. So then we got Lemon, Wizard of the Love. She's a light level 4 spellcaster tuner effect monster where she basically needs some more useful. So basically if she's normal summon or special summon, she can, or you can select one card or one monster on the field, except this card. Then the selected monster's effects are negated until, and it cannot declare an attack until the end of your opponent's next turn. Once per turn. So, its first effect, its summoning one, is basically is a homage to like her in the anime where she like puts the main protagonist in handcuffs and yeah. So, yeah. But he breaks free. So, once per turn, during either player's turn, this card loses 100 life points. Or attack and defense points, sorry. Both players draw 2 cards from the top of their decks. If you have... So, yeah. Reason why the once per turn is on here is that in the anime, she basically loses her magic powers and yeah. If you do, or so if you have a certain monster, him on the field, you can special summon this card from your deck or from your hand or deck to your field in the defense mode. You can only use this card's effects for once per turn. Yeah, so, yeah. I know some of it's, like, cut off, but moving on. So, her equip spell, the Lemon Doll, you can, if you control one, like the Muscle Man, or the one like her on the field, you can't. This card is automatically equipped to that monster. It cannot be tributed by any card herds, and it stays on the field own. So, if this card is sent to the grave, you can, or bound zone, you can shuffle this card into the deck, and both players gain 200 life points. But for the rest of the duel, this is going to be a broken effect. So, your opponent must discard cards instead of drawing them. So basically, every time your opponent draws or tries to draw a card, but instead of drawing it, it like basically sends it to a grave. So then the mirror thing is basically, if your opponent activates a card effect, you can pay 100 life points, negate that card effect, and then your opponent takes 2,000 damage. If you had 3 of them, that will make it 6,000 points of damage to your opponent's life points. So, yeah. Then the synchro monster for this archetype is basically its first effect is negate all card effects from your opponent's field and hand until 3 turns are up. And then once per turn, during either player's turn, you can select one monster on the field except this card. Take control of it. Take control of that selected monster to your field. If you do, then your opponent must attack her selected monster instead of this card. So it's like a homage to, like, basically special summon. It basically like takes, because in the anime, the monster or the wizard took the person's body and turned it into a doll and ends up, and plus you don't take damage from this card, so that's a plus. So then the dark eye man, he's a dark level 4 spellcaster effect monster, and he is basically a hand trap for this archetype. And he is, I'm going to say he's the upgraded version of the spell card but he can discard himself, negate the card effect or the attack, and make it the end phase. And if you do, then you draw 2 cards from the top of your deck. So basically, sorry. So because you could get more plays in. And this one is basically special summons 5 doll tokens, monsters that can't be battle, or if they get destroyed by battle or by card effects, or by tributed, inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent's life points. And if this card is sent to a grave or is in your graveyard or battle zone, you can shuffle this card into the deck. Add 3 cards from the top of your deck. Or from your deck to your hand, except this card. So basically, its first effect is basically summons a bunch of tokens. And they basically comes out of nowhere, and if your opponent comes in for like swinging for damage, like, I'm gonna make you suffer, boom. And yeah. And and plus, if all of them got destroyed, then you can inflict damage to your opponent's life points as mini cards. So basically, if you have an empty field home, and if you have an empty field and you play this card, you're basically left with 5 tokens. So now we got the plant monster, and it's a basically Earth level 4 plant effect monster where if this card's effects are negated by card effects, you can select 1 monster on the field. The selected monster loses 1,000 attack and defense for each level this card has. And if this card is basically sent to the grave or battle zone, you can shuffle this card into the deck. Both players draw 4 cards from the top of their decks to their hand. So basically, there's a combo between that card and this one. So, and plus, if you use this card to like get this one to the graveyard, you could go +5 because you draw 4 cards and you would have the equip spell to your hand. Yeah. So the next card, before I do the whole, like, the 2 cards, is Magic and Muscles, Wizard of the Dolls. So if this card is normal or special summon, you can select 1 card effect and activate it for once per turn. Special summon 2 monsters from anywhere to your field in attack mode, or add 2 spell/trap cards from to your hand. So, and plus, if you have the Synchro monster, this third effect basically, and it gains this effect for once per turn. This card's effects cannot be negated by card effects and is unaffected by card effects and can't be destroyed by battle or by card effects. And this card can attack your opponent's life points directly. So basically, you can use this card to, So then the two cards, I think. Wait, hold on. Let me think. Okay, so how long has this video been? Let's see, 20 minutes. Okay. So, the Magic and Muscles, the Maze. So, this is not totally accurate because I just randomly picked one and, yeah. So, I have this weird obsession with these cards where you can only banish them before the duel starts. So you must, for this one, you must activate this card before the duel starts, no matter what. And so to the banish zone. Your opponent has 30 seconds until the end of their turn. But if they take too long, you win the duel. But if you who can reset it after your turn ends, if your opponent activates if your opponent's cards that mentioned is unaffected by card effects in its card text should be sent to the banish zone. So it's basically saying, like, how will I put this? Like, there's this one card where, or if a card says, like, oh, first of all, it would be your opponent's cards. Yeah, so, yeah. So the other one, this one, so it is called Portal of the Magic and Muscles. So this card is basically, okay, so before I get, there's a combo between them. So I'll read this one first before we get into that. So you must activate this card before the duel starts, no matter what, to the banish zone. If a player loses this duel, must watch the Magic and Muscles anime show for 24 hours. Neither player leaves this duel until one of them wins the match. You can only use this card for once per turns. So basically, it's basically this one allows you to basically auto win, like you snap your fingers, oh, you're done. Now, and plus when you throw this one in it, so your opponent has to literally watch that TV show for 24 hours. So, yeah, whoever loses it says whoever loses or this duel must, yeah. So, yeah, to be watching it for 24 hours. So, yeah. So with like this card and this card would be instant win, because if your opponent like, oh no, I'm taking too long. Come on, I end my turn. You just draw and then skip your opponent's. Yeah. So because, yeah, it's pretty powerful broken card, I might say. So, but I think I know where. Did I not save it? Yeah. There was one card that it needs him to be on a field to activate. And yeah. So, yeah. So do you think these cards are a little bit too broken? Or are they not enough in raw strength? Because in my opinion, that portal of the Magix and the maze one, both of these two is like instant win. So basically you can watch, or so your opponent can watch it for 24 hours. Yeah. So, yeah. If you win like 4 duels in one hunt, you could make all 4 of them watch at different times. Like 24, 48, and then, yeah. Name. Yeah, so you could easily outbeat anyone. So, but that's that's a backup plan. So, yeah. But the most host for the archetype thing is you have to have him on the field to activate the training thing, and to also special summon her. Both of them brings out the synchro monster, and you basically win the duel if you bring him out. And plus, yeah, so, but how can you? Seems so broken. You know what I mean. Overpowered? Yes. Now, it's time for one of our favorite parts of the videos. And that would be the... I want everyone to hit that little subscribe button. But before, let's go on to figure that maze. Yep, let's show. So, the person that's in this video is trying to figure out how to solve this thing. Well, I figured it out. So, yeah. So this is that person's one. Now I figured it out by myself. So, yeah. So, please leave a like, share, subscribe, comment, and peace out, y'all. Peace.